Okay, then our last lecture for lecture 36 is going to be over geometric sequences. Okay, just went over arithmetic. I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Anyway, we are doing geometric sequences. So, starting out, a geometric sequence has the standard form of A, comma, A times R, comma, A times R squared, comma, A times R cubed. Okay? Now, this one's a little bit different than our arithmetic sequence. We still have our A value, which would be our first term. Okay? This time, though, we have an R value. What's our R stand for? Well, our R is our common ratio. Okay, last time it was a common difference. This time it's an R for our common ratio. Okay, also notice we're not taking a 2 times our common ratio. We're taking a 2, or we're taking it to the second power. Okay, so little different things happening here. Last time we were looking at our arithmetic sequence, we saw that there were plus signs in between, which gave us a hint there were going to be numbers adding. So now we've got multiplication. So we're going to be looking for numbers that are being multiplied by something. So my first example down here, 1 times 2 gives me 2. 2 times 4 gives me 4. 4 times 2 gives me 8. This is an example of a geometric sequence. This sequence's first term is A, and the ratio is 2 because I'm taking it times 2. First term is 1. Common ratio is 2. Okay? On our second example here, 120 to 60, I'm dividing that by 2. Okay? But remember, for our geometric sequence, we're not dividing by numbers, we're multiplying. So if I am dividing by 2, I could also say I am multiplying by 1/2. Okay? So if you are using division on this, okay, you cannot put a division sign there because our common ratio won't work if you have a division sign. Okay? If you are dividing, this is important, so you probably need to write it down. If you are dividing, you're actually multiplying by a fraction. Okay? So if I'm dividing by 2, I'm really multiplying by 1/2. What I was dividing by goes to the denominator. Okay? So again, do not put that you are dividing, put that you are multiplying by a fraction. Okay? Let's see if that pattern carries on. Well, 60 to 30, that's half of it. So multiplying by 1/2. 30 to 15, that's half of it. I multiplied by 1/2 on every single one of these. Did not divide by 2, I multiplied by 1/2. First term, my A value is going to be 20. My common ratio on this one is 1/2. Okay, if you put divided by 2, I guarantee you're going to put your ratio as 2. It's not. It's 1/2. Okay, I hope I've said that enough. Looking at our next example here on the right. Oh, sorry. Again, I multiplied everything over here by 1/2. Okay, so since I multiplied by the same number on every single one of them, it's geometric. My fault, I forgot to say that. Okay, last one. 1 times 2 gives me 2. 2 times 3 gives me 6. 6 times 4 gives me 24. So I multiplied by a different number each time. That means that this is not geometric. You have to be multiplying by the same number each time for that to count. Okay? There is also an nth term formula for your geometric sequences. Looks a little bit different. It is A sub n equals A times R to the n minus 1 power. Again, my n value, that's what term? If they ask for the 10th term, your n value is 10. Your A value, okay, I'm going to just draw another arrow to this end. They're both the same. My A value is, again, my first term. Whatever the first term in the sequence they give you is, that's your A value. Last, my R is my common ratio. Okay? remember, division is multiplying by a fraction. Don't forget that. That's important. Okay? Again, this formula is one you're going to have memorized. Okay? You're going to want to have the nth term formula for an arithmetic sequence, and you're going to have the nth term memorized for a geometric sequence. And oh my goodness, I just realized I made a mistake on here. I forgot to change when I copy and pasted. I am very sorry about that. That is definitely my fault. Okay? But have that formula memorized. We need to have that formula memorized. Okay? And let's go to this slide here. Uh-oh, that was too far. What's my computer doing? Okay. All right, it says find the nth term. So remember our formula. A sub n equals A times R to the n minus 1 power. Okay, finding the nth term. So I'm just going to have n's in there because I'm just finding the nth term. A, however, is my first term. What comes first in the sequence? 3. Times, what's my common ratio? My common ratio is times 3. Wait, is it? Oh, crap. Maybe. It is times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? So my R value is going to be a 2, and then I've got it to the n minus 1 power. Okay? The nice thing about geometric sequences, you can't simplify them. That's as simple as they're going to get. Okay? So when you guys write a geometric sequence, you're just going to leave it. You're going to plug in your A, you're going to plug in your R, and that's your answer. Okay? They ask you to find the 10th term of the geometric sequence. So I'm going to go A sub 10 because I want to know the 10th term. That's 3 times 2 to the 10 minus 1 power. That's really a 3 times 2 to the 9th power. What is the answer for that? Well, 2 to the 9th power is going to be 512. So I'm going to have a 3 times 512, which is 1,000. So A sub 10 equals 1,536. So that is my 10th term. That is my nth term formula. They're going to ask you guys to find that on your test. Let's do one more example. It's going to look a little bit different. Okay. All right. Here we go. I notice that my numbers are moving down as I go. I am not doing division. Don't forget it's not division. You have to multiply by something. Okay? All right, so start out, write my formula. A sub n equals A times R to the n minus 1 power. Have that memorized. Okay? As I'm moving down from 10,000 to 1,000, I'm dividing by 10. But that's not what we're going to say. We're going to say that we're multiplying by 1/10. From 1,000 to 100, I'm dividing by 10, but that's not what we're going to say. We're going to say we're multiplying by 1/10. From 100 to 10, we're multiplying by 1/10. You cannot put division. Okay? My R value for this is 1/10. 1/10 has to be my R value. And then my A value is always just the first term. Okay? So I've got A sub n equals, my A value was 10,000, and my R value was 1/10 to the n minus 1 power. That is my nth term formula. Okay? Then again, it asks us to find the 10th term. That means that my n value is 10. So A sub 10, lots of 10s up here, equals 10,000 times 1/10 to the 9th power. I'm going to show that step there. I'm sorry. To the n minus 1, so 10 minus 1 power. So that's really 10,000 times 1/10 to the 9th power. Okay? I'm going to plug in 1/10 to the 9th power into my calculator, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8 zeros. So I'm going to have 10,000 times 0.000000001. Yep, that is right. Okay. Then I just need to multiply those together, and I get that A sub 10 equals 0.00001. And plug it in just to make sure. And that is correct. Okay. So my 10th term is 0.00001. Okay. Probably want to try and leave that in a fraction, but not too handy with my calculator for that. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. So if I kept it as a fraction, it would be 1 over 100,000. May have to check me on that. I think that's right. Okay. All right. So that's it for our geometric sequence. Now your homework, this is important. Your homework on this, I've given you guys a list, and I haven't told you if they're arithmetic or geometric. Okay. So you guys have to make the decision. Is it arithmetic or geometric? Then you have to find the answers for the rest of it. Okay.